Welcome to On the Bench with Sports Fishing on the Fly. Today, Brent will tying the rolled muddler, one of the Sports Fishing on the Fly team favorites.
So I'm going to tie up one of our old favorites here, the rolled muddler. I have a size 4 in the hook, or in the vise here right now in silver. And the one I showed you before in the intro there is a gold body, and it's a size 1. So you can customize these size and colors. And that's a really productive fly. This one has been with us right from our first trips over to the West Coast. Use this fly a lot. I'm going to use some 6/0 thread. This is a hot pink. You can go with, thread color is not going to matter too much on this one. It's all going to be buried. The tail I'm going to be using is some small mallard. We're just going to tie that so it's pointed up, just a short little piece mallard. Come around the back here, coming up nice, structured up top. Bring in some purple wire. This is 0.2 millimeter, be a medium size wire for reinforcement. You can use whatever color you like. Nice thing about tying your own flies, you can kind of customize them. The original pattern had mylar on it, and now I just go into this flat braid. I like using that. It's got a nice little, it's a little bling, and it also nice and easy to use, nice and thin. So I'll put that in right at the rear. Just make sure I didn't quite have it all tied in there. That's a good thing. If you miss a strand or two, it can come out nasty on you, so make sure you got it all bound down. And then we'll come forward, a little pink thread peeking out the back. That's all right. I'm not worried about it. I don't get super fussy on these flies. I'm taking them in the water, get some fish on them, and I'm going to add this wire that never was, wasn't on any of the original rolled muddlers at all, but I find reverse wrapping all these bodies with wire or whatever I can do to add a little strength to them. Really good. Okay, this one's simple. Anybody can tie it, and it's one you'll want. I'm going to come in here with a little bit of this Skeena Semper Flash. This is a Skeena Silver blend. Just take a few strands of that. Got a little purples and hot pinks in there too. Green. Kind of a nice add-on. Used to use just Crystal Flash, and that'll work for you too if you want to go that way. Okay, my old buddy Walt Lawson said just use what you got. Now the wing, we'll be using a longer or bigger mallard. Calls for a rolled muddler. You can pull it all off the side and roll her completely around if you like. I usually just fold it and then tie it right on top. Gives me a little more wing exposed. It's the fish is pretty good that way too. If you're having trouble pinching that off like that, you can just pull the fibers off the stem and roll them around your fingers. That's really how that first rolled muddlers came to be. Now I don't know, I should have looked it up who the originator was of this fly. It's a good pattern, real good pattern. Now I'm going to bring in some natural deer hair on this one. First sample I showed on the intro was was a gray deer hair. You can, there again, just use what you like. I'm going to pull out the guard hairs on the bottom, clean it out, get it in my stacker. Get all the butts, or should be all nice, and the tips should be lined up where you can see the black tips. Take it to about the end of the body. And I'll just take a soft loop and then pull it around. And it'll pull, see where I put my tension on my thread? That's how the thread will always, or the hair will always follow your thread tension. So it doesn't matter what kind of flies you're working with. I just want to tighten my vise a little bit. With the And deer hair, just remember, whichever way your thread tension is, your hair is going to follow that pressure. Just tie that off. And then I'll just trim her down. It's pretty simple. Like I say, you can bring the butts out a little bit if you want. Just lay your scissors along the bead for a little bit of a guide. You don't want to overdress this. You want a nice thin body, not too much hair on it. You want enough. And the trouble is when you're trimming hair is when do you stop? I might thin that bottom out just a wee little bit. But when it gets wet, that hair looks really nice in the water. I'm just going to trim that down a wee little bit on the side. And well, there's a butt right there I need out. There we go. So there it is, a rolled muddler, just a little bit tricked out with some new stuff. And we thank you again for catching us on sport fishing on the fly. We'll catch you back real soon.
Today's video was brought to you by Brent Schlenker, Alberta, Canada. We appreciate you watching and hope to see you soon. Remember to conserve our waters.